In a world filled with constant judgment and criticism, it's easy to fall into the habit of fault-finding. We've all been there, pointing fingers at others while ignoring our own flaws. But what if I told you there's a way to break free from this destructive pattern? Welcome to Wisdom Woven, where we're about to embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation. Imagine a life where you no longer feel the need to nitpick at others' imperfections. Picture yourself embracing a mindset of understanding and compassion, both for yourself and those around you. That's exactly what we're going to explore in this video. But why should you care about quitting the habit of fault-finding? Well, for starters, it's not just about being kinder to others, it's also about improving your own well-being. By shifting your focus away from criticism and towards self-reflection, you'll open the door to personal growth and fulfillment. Now, I know what you're thinking. Easier said than done, right? Trust me, I get it. Breaking any habit is challenging, especially one that's deeply ingrained in our behavior. But fear not, because throughout this video, I'll be sharing valuable insights and practical tips inspired by the teachings of Buddhism. Think of this as your roadmap to a happier, more harmonious life. Together, we'll uncover the root causes of fault-finding, explore the power of empathy and understanding, and learn how to communicate effectively with those around us. But here's the best part. This isn't just another self-help lecture. No, my friends, this is a call to action. A call to join me on a journey towards positive change. And here's where you come in. I'm setting a challenge for all of us. Let's aim for 100 likes on this video. Why? Because I believe that by spreading the message of compassion and self-awareness, we can make a real difference in the world. So, if you're ready to free yourself from the shackles of fault-finding, if you're ready to embrace a mindset of kindness and understanding, then hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and let's make a positive impact together. Welcome to Wisdom Woven. Let's weave a brighter future, one thoughtful step at a time. Lesson 1: Understanding the habit of fault-finding. Do you ever catch yourself constantly pointing out flaws in others? It's like we have a radar for spotting mistakes everywhere but in ourselves. But here's the thing. Constantly finding faults in others is not just a harmless habit. It can poison our relationships and rob us of our own peace of mind. Think about it. When we're too busy criticizing others, we're not focusing on our own growth and happiness. We're stuck in a cycle of negativity that only leads to more dissatisfaction and frustration. But why do we do it? Why is it so easy to find faults in others but so hard to see them in ourselves? Part of the reason lies in our human nature. We're wired to notice differences and flaws. It's a survival instinct. But in today's world, where survival isn't always at stake, this instinct can lead us astray. Instead of appreciating the diversity and uniqueness of others, we end up nitpicking and judging. But it's not just about biology. Our upbringing and culture also play a role. From a young age, we're taught to compare ourselves to others and strive for perfection. We're bombarded with images of flawless beauty and success, leading us to believe that anything less is unacceptable. So, we start looking for faults in others to feel better about ourselves. The problem is, this habit of fault-finding doesn't just harm others, it harms us too. It keeps us stuck in a negative mindset, preventing us from experiencing true happiness and fulfillment. And the more we focus on others' flaws, the more blind we become to our own. But there's hope. Like any habit, fault-finding can be broken. It just takes awareness and practice. By recognizing the destructive nature of this habit and its impact on our lives, we can begin to let go of it. So, in the next part of this video, we'll delve deeper into the Buddhist perspective on self-reflection and learn how to break free from the habit of fault-finding. Get ready for some eye-opening insights and practical tips that will help you cultivate more compassion and understanding in your relationships, starting with yourself. Lesson 2: The Buddhist perspective on self-reflection. In the hustle and bustle of our daily lives, it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of external distractions. But what if I told you that the key to inner peace lies not in searching outside, but in turning inward? Enter Buddhism, a philosophy that offers profound insights into the nature of our minds and the path to true happiness. At the heart of Buddhist teachings is the practice of self-reflection, a journey of introspection that leads to profound self-awareness and transformation. Imagine for a moment a mirror. When we look into it, we see our reflection staring back at us. But what if this mirror could also reflect the inner workings of our minds, the thoughts, emotions, and habits that shape our lives? This is precisely what self-reflection in Buddhism entails. Self-reflection is not about self-criticism or judgment, but rather about understanding ourselves more deeply. It's about shining a light on our inner landscape, exploring the terrain of our thoughts and emotions with curiosity and compassion. In Buddhism, self-reflection is seen as the key to breaking free from the cycle of suffering. By examining our thoughts and actions, we gain insight into the causes of our unhappiness and the patterns that keep us stuck in repetitive behaviors. But self-reflection is not just about identifying our faults and shortcomings. It's also about recognizing our inherent goodness and potential for growth. In the words of the Buddha, just as a snake sheds its skin, we must shed our past over and over again. Through self-reflection, we come to see that our true nature is not defined by our mistakes or limitations, but by our capacity for wisdom and compassion. It's a journey of self-discovery that leads to greater self-acceptance and inner peace. So how can we cultivate the practice of self-reflection in our own lives? It starts with setting aside time for quiet introspection, away from the noise and distractions of the world. Whether through meditation, journaling, or simply taking a walk in nature, find a practice that allows you to connect with your innermost thoughts and feelings. Next, approach self-reflection with an attitude of openness and curiosity. Rather than judging or criticizing yourself, cultivate a sense of gentleness and kindness towards yourself. Remember, self-reflection is not about perfection, but about growth and learning. As you delve deeper into the practice of self-reflection, you may uncover layers of conditioning and unconscious beliefs that have been shaping your life. This can be both challenging and liberating, as you begin to see yourself more clearly and authentically. In the words of the Zen master Thich Nhat Hanh, understanding is the key to acceptance, and only with acceptance can there be recovery. Through self-reflection, we come to understand ourselves more fully, accepting both our light and our shadow with equanimity. Ultimately, self-reflection is a journey of self-discovery and transformation, a journey that leads us back to the true essence of who we are. By embracing this practice with openness and courage, we can unlock the door to greater happiness, fulfillment, and inner peace. Lesson 3: the impact of expectations on relationships. Have you ever felt frustrated when someone didn't meet your expectations? Maybe a friend, a partner, or a family member didn't behave the way you wanted them to. It happens to all of us, and it can lead to tension and conflict in our relationships. But have you ever stopped to think about where those expectations come from? Expectations are like silent agreements we make in our minds about how others should behave or how things should go. We often create these expectations based on our own desires, beliefs, and past experiences. But here's the thing. When those expectations aren't met, we can feel let down, disappointed, or even angry. In Buddhism, there's a term called attachment, which refers to our tendency to cling to things, people, or outcomes. When we become attached to our expectations, we set ourselves up for suffering. We become rigid and closed off, unable to accept things as they are. Think about it. When we expect someone to act a certain way, we're essentially trying to control them. But people are not puppets, and life is not a script. We can't force others to conform to our wishes any more than we can control the weather. So what can we do instead? Well, the first step is to recognize our own expectations. Pay attention to the thoughts and assumptions swirling around in your mind. Are you expecting someone to always agree with you? Are you expecting perfection from yourself or others? Once you've identified these expectations, try to let go of them. This doesn't mean lowering your standards or settling for less. It means being open to the possibility that things might not always go according to plan, and that's okay. In fact, when we release our grip on expectations, we create space for something beautiful to emerge. Acceptance. Acceptance doesn't mean condoning or approving of everything. It simply means acknowledging reality as it is, without judgment or resistance. When we accept others as they are, flaws and all, we cultivate compassion and understanding. We see them as human beings, struggling and imperfect, just like us. And when we extend the same acceptance to ourselves, we free ourselves from the burden of self-criticism and self-doubt. Imagine how different your relationships could be if you approached them with acceptance instead of expectation. Instead of trying to change people, you could appreciate them for who they are. Instead of feeling disappointed when things don't go your way, you could find peace in the present moment. So, the next time you catch yourself holding on to expectations, try loosening your grip. Embrace the uncertainty of life and allow yourself to be surprised. You might just discover that letting go brings you closer to true happiness and fulfillment. Lesson 4: Embracing imperfection in ourselves and others. In a world that often celebrates perfection, it's easy to forget that imperfection is what makes us human. Imagine a world where everything was flawless, where every person behaved exactly as expected. It might sound ideal, but it would also be incredibly dull. Our quirks, our mistakes, our differences, these are what give life its color and vibrancy. Think about your favorite book or movie. What makes it memorable? Chances are, it's not the flawless characters or the perfect plot twists. It's the imperfections, the unexpected turns, the moments of vulnerability that make the story come alive. The same is true in real life. Our imperfections are what make us interesting, what make us unique. When we embrace our own imperfections, we free ourselves from the burden of trying to be perfect. We can relax, be ourselves, and enjoy life as it is. And when we extend that same acceptance to others, we create space for deeper connections and richer relationships. Instead of judging others for their flaws, we can appreciate them for who they are, flaws and all. But embracing imperfection doesn't mean ignoring areas where we can improve. It's about accepting ourselves and others as we are, while also striving to grow and evolve. Just as a tree grows stronger roots and branches over time, we too can continue to learn and develop throughout our lives. So the next time you find yourself focusing on someone else's flaws, pause for a moment and consider your own. Are you holding yourself to the same impossible standard? And instead of criticizing, try offering support and encouragement. You might be surprised at how much more fulfilling your relationships become when you approach them with acceptance and compassion. Remember, perfection is an illusion. It's our imperfections that make us human, that make life interesting and beautiful. So let's celebrate our quirks, our mistakes, our differences. They're what make us who we are. And let's extend that same celebration to others, embracing them for who they are, flaws and all. Lesson 5: Compassionate correction. Approaching mistakes in others. In the intricate dance of human relationships, mistakes are inevitable. But how we address those mistakes can make all the difference. Have you ever found yourself frustrated with someone's actions, tempted to criticize or condemn? It's a common reaction, but there's a better way forward. Welcome to part 6 of Quit This Habits to Free Your Hand with Wisdom Woven. Imagine a scenario. A friend, a family member, or a colleague slips up. Your first instinct might be to point out their error, perhaps with a tone of irritation or even anger. But pause for a moment. Consider the impact of your approach. Will it truly inspire change, or might it breed resentment? The Buddha teaches us to approach mistakes in others with compassion and understanding. Instead of immediately jumping to criticism, try to empathize with the person's perspective. What led them to make this mistake? What challenges might they be facing? By understanding their motivations, we can respond with empathy rather than judgment. Effective communication is key. When addressing someone's mistake, choose your words carefully. Speak privately, in a calm and respectful manner. Avoid blaming or shaming language. Instead, focus on the behavior itself, offering constructive feedback and highlighting the potential consequences. It's also important to balance criticism with recognition of the person's positive qualities. By acknowledging their strengths and virtues, you create a supportive atmosphere where growth and improvement are encouraged. Remember, correction is not about proving oneself right or asserting dominance. It's about guiding others towards their best selves. Approach the situation with humility and a genuine desire to help. In some cases, it may be necessary to set boundaries or establish consequences for repeated mistakes. However, these measures should always be enacted with compassion and a focus on mutual respect. Above all, cultivate patience. Change takes time, and it's okay to progress gradually. Encourage open dialogue and be willing to listen to the other person's perspective. True understanding and reconciliation often require compromise and flexibility. By adopting a compassionate approach to correcting mistakes in others, we not only foster stronger relationships but also contribute to a more harmonious and supportive community. So let's strive to be agents of understanding and empathy, guiding each other towards growth and mutual respect. Together, we can create a world where forgiveness and compassion reign supreme. Lesson 6. Cultivating gratitude and appreciation. Have you ever noticed how a simple thank you or a heartfelt compliment can brighten someone's day? In this part, we'll explore the incredible power of cultivating gratitude and appreciation in our lives. Imagine this: you wake up in the morning, and the first thing you do is think of 3 things you're grateful for. Maybe it's the warmth of the sun streaming through your window, the aroma of freshly brewed coffee, or the love of your family. Taking just a moment to acknowledge these blessings can set a positive tone for the entire day. Gratitude isn't just a fleeting feeling. It's a practice, a habit that we can develop over time. By consciously focusing on the good things in our lives, we train our minds to see the silver linings even in challenging situations. And the more we practice gratitude, the more we realize just how much there is to be thankful for. But gratitude isn't just about recognizing the good in our own lives. It's also about acknowledging the contributions of others. Think about the people who have supported you, encouraged you, and lifted you up when you needed it most. How often do we take their kindness for granted? Expressing gratitude isn't just polite, it's transformative. When we take the time to thank others for their kindness, we not only make them feel appreciated, but also strengthen our own connections with them. It's like spreading sunshine wherever we go, brightening the lives of those around us. And it's not just about saying thank you. It's about showing appreciation in meaningful ways. Maybe it's writing a heartfelt note, cooking a special meal, or simply lending a listening ear. These small gestures can have a big impact, creating a ripple effect of positivity in our relationships and communities. But cultivating gratitude isn't always easy, especially when life throws us curveballs. In those moments, it can be tempting to dwell on the negatives, to focus on what we lack rather than what we have. But even in the darkest times, there is still light to be found if we're willing to look for it. That's where the practice of gratitude comes in. It's a beacon of hope in times of darkness, a reminder that even on our toughest days, there is still something to be thankful for. And by shifting our focus from what's missing to what's present, we can find peace and joy in the midst of adversity. So how can we cultivate gratitude in our daily lives? It starts with simple acts of mindfulness, like keeping a gratitude journal or setting aside time each day to reflect on our blessings. It's about savoring the small moments, finding joy in the ordinary, and recognizing the beauty in the world around us. But gratitude isn't just a solo practice. It's something we can share with others. By expressing appreciation for the people in our lives, we not only strengthen our relationships, but also create a culture of kindness and positivity. And in a world that often feels divided, gratitude has the power to unite us in our shared humanity. So let's make gratitude a priority in our lives. Let's take a moment each day to pause, reflect, and give thanks for the abundance that surrounds us. Together, we can create a world filled with kindness, compassion, and appreciation. And in doing so, we can truly change the world, one grateful heart at a time. Lesson 7: The power of positive communication. Are you tired of feeling misunderstood? Do you ever wish your words could truly connect with others? Well, buckle up, because we're diving into the transformative power of positive communication. Imagine this. Instead of words becoming weapons, they become bridges. Picture a world where every conversation leaves you feeling uplifted and understood. That's the magic of positive communication. It all starts with the intention behind your words. Are you speaking to tear down or to build up? Choosing positivity doesn't mean sugarcoating the truth. It means delivering it with kindness and empathy. Think about the last time someone praised you sincerely. How did it make you feel? That's the impact of positive reinforcement. When we acknowledge and appreciate the good in others, we inspire them to shine even brighter. But positive communication isn't just about what you say. It's also about how you listen. Imagine truly hearing someone without judgment or interruption. That's the gift of being present in a conversation. Now, let's talk about the power of words. They have the ability to uplift, inspire, and heal. So why not use them to spread positivity? A simple compliment or word of encouragement can make someone's day. But positivity isn't just about being sunny all the time. It's about finding the silver lining even in the darkest clouds. It's about offering support and understanding, even when it's hard. So how can you start practicing positive communication? It all begins with awareness. Pay attention to the words you speak and the impact they have on others. Choose kindness and empathy in every interaction. Remember, positivity is contagious. When you radiate positivity, you invite others to do the same. It creates a ripple effect of kindness and compassion that can change the world. But positivity isn't just about making others feel good. It's also about empowering them to be their best selves. When you believe in someone and encourage them, you give them the courage to chase their dreams. Now, let's address the elephant in the room: negativity. It's easy to get caught up in complaining or criticizing, but what does that accomplish? Instead of focusing on what's wrong, focus on how you can make it right. And don't forget about self-talk. The way you speak to yourself matters just as much as how you speak to others. So be kind to yourself, celebrate your strengths, and forgive your mistakes. In conclusion, positive communication is the key to building meaningful connections and fostering a more compassionate world. So let's choose our words wisely and spread kindness wherever we go. Together, we can make a difference, one conversation at a time. Lesson 8: Overcoming the urge to criticize. Do you ever find yourself quick to criticize others? It's a common habit, but what if we told you there's a way to overcome that urge? Imagine a world where instead of judgment, there's understanding and empathy. In this part, we'll explore how to shift from criticism to compassion, making our relationships richer and more fulfilling. Think about the last time you felt criticized. How did it make you feel? Probably not great, right? Criticism can be like a heavy weight, burdening both the giver and the receiver. But what if we approach things differently? What if instead of focusing on flaws, we looked for strengths? This shift in perspective can transform how we interact with others. Imagine a world where instead of jumping to conclusions, we pause and seek to understand. It's a world where empathy reigns supreme and connections deepen. But how do we get there? It starts with awareness. Notice when you feel the urge to criticize and pause. Take a moment to consider where that criticism is coming from. Is it rooted in insecurity, fear? Understanding the source can help us respond with compassion instead of judgment. Another key to overcoming the urge to criticize is practicing gratitude. When we focus on the good in others, it becomes harder to nitpick their flaws. Take time each day to reflect on the positive qualities of those around you. It could be as simple as appreciating a friend's sense of humor or a coworker's dedication. But what about when criticism feels unavoidable? In those moments, it's important to remember the power of constructive feedback. Instead of tearing someone down, offer guidance for improvement. Approach the conversation with kindness and empathy, focusing on solutions rather than faults. You'll be amazed at the difference it can make. And let's not forget the importance of self-compassion. Just as we strive to be understanding towards others, we must also extend that same grace to ourselves. We're all works in progress, and it's okay to stumble along the way. Treat yourself with kindness, and you'll find it easier to do the same for others. In the end, overcoming the urge to criticize is about cultivating a mindset of empathy and understanding. It's about recognizing that we're all imperfect, and that's what makes us human. So let's choose compassion over criticism and watch as our relationships flourish. Together, we can create a world where judgment is replaced with acceptance and kindness reigns supreme. Lesson 9: Nurturing empathy and understanding. Do you ever find yourself quick to judge others without really understanding where they're coming from? It's a common habit, but what if there was a way to break free from it and cultivate deeper empathy instead? Imagine this. You're walking down the street and someone bumps into you, spilling your coffee. Your initial reaction might be frustration or anger, right? But what if you paused for a moment and considered that maybe they were having a rough day or distracted by their own worries? Suddenly, your perspective shifts, and you find it easier to empathize with their situation. Empathy is like a superpower that allows us to connect with others on a deeper level. It's about putting ourselves in someone else's shoes, understanding their feelings, and responding with kindness and compassion. But how do we nurture empathy in ourselves? It starts with a simple shift in mindset. Instead of jumping to conclusions or judging others based on surface-level observations, we can choose to approach every interaction with curiosity and open-mindedness. Next time you find yourself tempted to criticize or dismiss someone, try asking yourself, what might be going on in their life right now? What struggles are they facing? What experiences have shaped their perspective? By asking these questions, we begin to see people not as obstacles or annoyances, but as complex individuals with their own hopes, fears, and dreams. And when we approach them with empathy and understanding, we create space for meaningful connections to flourish. But empathy isn't just about understanding others, it's also about understanding ourselves. When we cultivate self-empathy, we become more attuned to our own emotions and needs. We learn to treat ourselves with the same kindness and compassion that we extend to others. So the next time you make a mistake or fall short of your own expectations, instead of beating yourself up, try offering yourself some empathy. Recognize that you're only human, and that imperfection is a natural part of the human experience. By nurturing empathy within ourselves and extending it to others, we create a ripple effect of positivity and understanding that can transform not only our own lives, but the world around us. So let's make a commitment today to choose empathy over judgment, understanding over criticism, and kindness over indifference. Together, we can create a world where empathy reigns supreme, and where we all feel seen, heard, and valued. Lesson 10: Self-reflection as a path to personal growth. Hey there, welcome back. Today, we're diving into something truly transformative: self-reflection. But don't worry, this isn't about being hard on yourself. It's about embracing growth and personal development. Picture this. You're on a journey, and self-reflection is your compass. It's the tool that helps you navigate through life's twists and turns, guiding you toward becoming the best version of yourself. Self-reflection isn't about dwelling on past mistakes. It's about learning from them. It's like taking a step back to assess where you've been, where you are, and where you want to go. Imagine looking into a mirror, not just to see your reflection, but to truly understand yourself, your thoughts, your actions, your dreams. That's the power of self-reflection. Think of it as a gentle nudge to pause amidst life's chaos and check in with yourself. Are you living in alignment with your values? Are your actions reflecting the person you aspire to be? Self-reflection isn't reserved for the spiritual gurus or the wise sages. It's for everyone, including you and me. It's a journey we can all embark on, no matter where we are in life. Have you ever felt stuck, like you're going through the motions without a sense of purpose? Self-reflection can help you break free from that cycle, guiding you toward clarity and direction. It's like peeling back the layers of an onion. Each moment of self-reflection reveals something new about yourself, leading to profound insights and personal growth. Self-reflection isn't about judgment or criticism. It's about curiosity and understanding. It's about approaching yourself with kindness and compassion, just like you would a dear friend. So how do you start? It's simple. Find a quiet moment, grab a pen and paper, and jot down your thoughts. Reflect on your experiences, your emotions, and your aspirations. Consider asking yourself some guiding questions. What am I grateful for? What challenges have I overcome? What do I want to achieve in the future? Self-reflection isn't a one-time event. It's a practice, a habit that you cultivate over time. The more you engage in it, the more clarity and insight you'll gain. It's like flexing a muscle. The more you exercise it, the stronger it becomes. And before you know it, self-reflection becomes second nature, woven seamlessly into your daily life. Remember, self-reflection isn't about striving for perfection. It's about embracing your humanity, flaws and all. It's about celebrating your progress, no matter how small. And here's the beauty of self-reflection. It's a journey without a final destination. There's always room to grow, to learn, to evolve into the best version of yourself. So, as you embark on this journey of self-discovery, be gentle with yourself. Embrace the highs and the lows, the triumphs and the setbacks. They're all part of the process. And know that you're not alone on this journey. There's a whole community of fellow seekers, each on their own path of self-reflection and personal growth. Together, we can support and uplift one another, sharing our insights and wisdom as we navigate the beautiful, messy adventure of life. So, are you ready to embark on this journey of self-reflection? Are you ready to dive deep into the depths of your being and discover the limitless potential within? Remember, the power to transform your life lies within you. So, let's embrace the journey of self-reflection and embark on a path of growth, fulfillment, and self-discovery. Conclusion: living in harmony with others and ourselves. In the grand symphony of life, each of us holds a unique note, contributing to the beautiful melody of existence. But to truly harmonize with the world around us, we must learn the art of living in harmony with others and ourselves. Imagine a world where understanding replaces judgment, where empathy replaces criticism, and where compassion reigns supreme. This is not a distant utopia, but a reality we can create through mindful living and heartfelt connections. As we journey through life, let us remember the power of a kind word, a gentle touch, or a listening ear. These simple acts of kindness can bridge the gaps between us, fostering bonds of trust and understanding. Embrace the imperfections within yourself and others, for it is these flaws that make us human, that make us relatable, and that ultimately bring us closer together. Instead of dwelling on faults, let us celebrate the unique qualities that make each person special. In our quest for personal growth, let us not forget the importance of gratitude and appreciation. Take a moment each day to acknowledge the blessings in your life, both big and small, and express your thanks to those who have touched your heart. Communication is the key to any successful relationship, and it is through open, honest dialogue that we can resolve conflicts, mend broken bonds, and strengthen connections. Speak from the heart, listen with compassion, and watch as barriers dissolve and understanding flourishes. When faced with the urge to criticize, pause and reflect on the impact of your words. Choose kindness over judgment, empathy over condemnation, and watch as positivity radiates from your being, touching the lives of those around you. Nurture empathy within yourself, for it is the ability to see the world through another's eyes that allows us to truly connect on a deeper level. Walk a mile in someone else's shoes, and you will find understanding where there was once only misunderstanding. Self-reflection is a powerful tool for personal growth, allowing us to examine our thoughts, actions, and motivations with honesty and clarity. Embrace this practice wholeheartedly, and you will uncover hidden truths and unlock the doors to self-improvement. In the tapestry of life, we are all interconnected, each thread weaving its way through the fabric of existence. Let us embrace this interconnectedness, recognizing that our actions ripple outwards, touching the lives of those around us in ways both seen and unseen. As we navigate the ups and downs of life, let us remember to be gentle with ourselves and with others. We are all works in progress, learning and growing with each passing day. Celebrate the journey, embrace the lessons, and cherish the moments of connection along the way. In conclusion, living in harmony with others and ourselves is not just a goal to strive for, but a way of being to embody each and every day. Through compassion, empathy, and understanding, we can create a world where kindness reigns supreme and love knows no bounds. So let us go forth from this moment with open hearts and open minds, ready to embrace the beauty of diversity, the power of connection, and the joy of living in harmony with others and ourselves. Together, we can create a brighter, more compassionate world for all.